Hello students, welcome to 8th English Medium Science class. We are studying about microorganisms. Microorganisms are friends and foe. So friends means they are useful and foe means they are enemies, harmful things. So in previous sessions we studied about useful bacteria or useful microorganisms. Microorganisms are used from ancient time in human life, but nowadays we are identifying the more uses of microorganisms. For example, curd is made with the help of lactobacillus bacteria, and the bread and cake become soft due to presence of yeast cells, which is fungus. And we also studied they are used in making medicines, vaccines. Antibiotics are made with the help of microorganisms, and vaccines are made with the help of microorganisms. And we also studied the dead bodies or dead material in the world is removed or it is converted into minerals with the help of microorganisms. So in this way, microorganisms play an important role in each and uh, every part of our life. Even some bacteria are present in our stomach. E. coli bacteria, they convert the raw materials, food materials, into vitamin B12, which is very essential for our making of blood and building our body. So next we study about harmful microorganisms. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Such disease causing microorganisms are called as pathogens. The disease causing bacteria or microorganisms. Disease causing microorganisms are called as pathogens. So there are large number of microorganisms which cause diseases in human beings, in plants and even in animals. Some microorganisms spoil food also, and clothes and even leather. So we will study the more about harmful activities of microorganisms. So pathogens enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink or food we eat. These disease causing microorganisms are not always in our body. If they are inside the body, they will cause the disease. But we are almost healthy in almost all time in our life. The diseases are caused only during some time. So in almost all time when we are healthy, there are no microorganisms in our body which cause the disease. So these disease causing microorganisms are coming from outside, and they enter our body through air when we breathe. When you breathe in, it microorganisms enter our lungs and throat. And when we drink water which contains microorganism, it reach our stomach and intestine and cause diseases. Or food we eat, they can enter also through the food which we eat. So these are the ways how they enter our body, and they can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carried by an animal. Some diseases enter our body by contact, means if you touch the hand, if you handshake of other human being, or if you touch his body, or if you stand near them, when they sneeze or cough, the microorganisms will be entering our body. Or sometime if you use the same vessels, glass or plates with disease caused people, so we will get contaminated. So in this way, microorganisms are also transmitted by infected person or infected animal to healthy people. Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called communicable diseases. The diseases which spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called as communicable diseases. So, communicable means it is transferring from one person to another person. It is spreading in the community. Examples of such diseases are cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. Cholera, if you share the contaminated food with infected person, or it is also spread by what flies in our home. So the flies, if they sit on the contamination and come and sit on our food material, and if we eat that food material, it causes cholera. Common cold, if any student is having a common cold in the school, if he sneezes or coughs, the viruses will spread into the atmosphere, and if we breathe them, we also get affected by common cold. Chicken pox, so these are also spread from one children to another children. And then tuberculosis, TB, it is also coughing, but it causes a lot of pain in lungs, and sometimes blood may ooze. And when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, fine droplets of moisture carry thousands of viruses are spread in the air. When a person suffering from common cold, the main symptoms of common cold are sneezing and coughing. So when he sneezes, large number of droplets will spray in the air, in the moisture, and they contain thousands of viruses, and the virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing and cause infection. So today the coronavirus, which causes common cold and throat infection and breathing problem, is also spreading due to these conditions. If the person who is affected by coronavirus, if he sneezes or coughs, so that those viruses will spread in the air. If a healthy person breathe in these viruses, he will be get infected by coronavirus. Then how do we prevent the spread of communicable diseases? So we should keep a handkerchief on the nose and mouth while sneezing. So if the person is having sneeze and cough, so he should not sneeze or cough in public openly. So he must wear a mask, or he or she may use the handkerchief to close their mouth or nose when they sneeze or cough. It is better to keep a distance from infected persons. So there is only way that we have to keep distance from them. Means we must keep distance of at least 2 meters. These can spread up to 1 or 1.5 meter in the air. And there are some insects and animals which act as carriers of disease causing microbes. So some insects and animals are there. They also help in spreading of the microorganisms which cause disease and are called as carriers. They carry the disease from their body to human body. Housefly is one such carrier. One example is housefly. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta. Then pathogens stick to their bodies. When the flies sit on uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens. So whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. So it is advisable to always keep food covered and avoid consuming uncovered items of food. So this is one example of insect animal carrier. This fly, house flies are flying everywhere. So they are going outside, coming inside the house. When they go outside, they sit on waste materials and garbage of human being and also animal excreta. They sit on that. So when they sit on that, the microorganisms present in the garbage, they will stick to the legs of these flies, and same fly will come inside our house and sit on food material we eat. Usually they sit on almost every type of food material, and the microorganisms which are present in the legs of the flies, they will transfer to the food material, and if we eat that food material, the microorganisms enter our body and cause the disease. These house flies spread cholera. Cholera causes dysentery and vomiting. And another example for carrier is female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito, it carries the parasite of malaria. So it carries a parasite called as Plasmodium, which develops in its body, and that causes malaria. So when female Anopheles mosquito bites a person who is suffering from malaria, that Plasmodium, it is belong to a protozoan family, it enters into the body of that female Anopheles and it multiplies in a large number in its body. And when this mosquito bites the healthy person, so this Plasmodium enters into the blood of healthy person and causes malarial disease. So malaria causes frequent fever with sweating and chilled. And female Aedes mosquito acts as carrier of dengue virus. So nowadays this Aedes mosquito carries dengue virus. So it is also a type of disease. It causes what? Reduction of platelets in our blood, and it also causes the high fever, and the person will suffer very risky situation in these two diseases, malaria and dengue. They can kill the person if not treated properly in the time. Then how can we control the spread of malaria? So how to control the spread of malaria or dengue? And we know that dengue or malaria are mainly caused by mosquitoes. So if you control mosquitoes, the diseases are also controlled. Why does the teacher keep telling us not to let water collect anywhere in the neighborhood? If you see in your neighborhood, if there are potholes on the roads, if there is a water logging in your compound, or if you keep flower pots or the coconut shells open, or tires and some pipes or waste materials in your backyard, the rainwater collects in such things, and this is main place for the mosquitoes to breed. They lay their eggs in standing water and multiply in number and spread the disease. All mosquitoes breed in water, hence one should not let water collect. So breed means they give birth, they lay egg in the standing water. Hence one should not let water collect anywhere, in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. So usually we use coolers in summer season, and we add water to cooler, so that water should be changed from time to time. And in your backyard, if you have kept the tires, during rainy season the water collects in them. In that standing water, the mosquitoes can lay their eggs and multiply in number, and flower pots in so many substances are kept. So you must take care that water should not be collected anywhere near your surrounding. By keeping the surroundings clean and dry, we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. So by keeping the surroundings clean and dry, so we can prevent the breeding of mosquitoes, and also you can prevent the diseases. Try to make a list of measures which help to avoid the spread of malaria. So you can make a list of things in your surroundings which are helping the spread of malaria, and you can take care of your home and also neighborhood by yourself. And here a table is given. Some common human diseases caused by microorganisms. So what are those diseases? Let us study. Tuberculosis is caused by bacteria, and mode of transmission by air. So when the person is suffering from tuberculosis, he continuously coughs. So when he coughs, the air which is coming out of his mouth contain these bacteria. So if a healthy person breathes same air, so he may be infected by tuberculosis. And then measles. Measles is caused by virus. A type of virus causes measles, and it also spread through the air itself. And then chicken pox. The blisters grow on our body, and very high irritation, fever will be there, and that causes ugly mark on our face and skin. So this also spread in air or by direct contact of the person. And polio is also caused by a polio virus, and it also spread in air or through the water. So preventive measures, how to protect ourselves from such diseases which spread in air by contact. Keep the patient in complete isolation. Nowadays we are all hearing these words: isolation, home isolation. Means what? Keep the patient in such a place where he will not come in contact with healthy people. Keep the personal belongings of patient away from those of the others, and we should give them separate things. For example, towel, their clothes, and plates, glasses for drinking water, or plate for eating food. So everything should be kept separate for the people who are suffering from these diseases like tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox, and polio, because the disease will spread in air or by contact or water also. And vaccination to be given at suitable age. Vaccines are given for all these diseases: tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox, and polio in childhood. So they should be taken properly at the correct time. And cholera, typhoid, these are caused by bacteria. Cholera and typhoid are caused by bacteria, and cholera spread through water or food, and typhoid spread through contaminated water. So how to prevent these diseases? Maintain personal hygiene. Hygiene means cleanliness. The person should be very clean. You should wash your hands before touching it with your face, or you are eating the food. So wash your hands at least for 20 seconds. Nowadays everyone you familiar with how to wash hands, because it is continuously shown in the television. And use sanitizer before eating the food. If you are not having soap and water, then you can use the sanitizer. Both are not necessary, any one you can use. And then maintain good sanitary habits. Your clothes should be very clean, washed time to time and brushed, and then your hand should be clean, and you should use the what clean food also and clean water also. Consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. Always consume cooked food. Don't eat raw food, or don't eat the food which is in outside. Outside food should be avoided because it is kept in open and so many people touch it. So if you eat such food, you are contaminated. And vaccination should be done properly. So we should take the medicines which cure the cholera and typhoid. And one more common disease is hepatitis. We call it as a Kamale Roga. Kamale. So in this disease, the skin becomes yellowish in color. So that is also caused by a virus called as hepatitis virus, and it spreads through water. So drink boiled drinking water and use the vaccination. So if we are prone to such situations, if we have doubt that water is not clean and water is not healthy, then you boil the water and drink. So when we boil the water, all the microorganisms present in the water will die at 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, and then that water becomes healthy for drinking. And then malaria is caused by a protozoa called as Plasmodium, and it is spread by mosquito. So the spread of malaria can be stopped by stopping the mosquitoes. Use mosquito net and repellents. So always use mosquito net while you sleep if there are more mosquito in your home, or use the repellents. Means we use good night or all out, Maxo, such type of liquids which evaporate in air and they will keep away the mosquitoes. Or spray insecticides. So we use heat, black heat to kill mosquitoes. And control breeding of mosquitoes by not allowing water to collect in the surroundings. So you should not allowing water to collect in the surroundings, because mosquitoes breed in standing water, stagnant water. So avoid the standing of water near your home. So in this way, these are different type of diseases which are spread by different type of microorganisms, and we have to take care of that in the advance. We have heard the proverb, prevention is better than cure. So take prevention in advance so that you are not coming in contact with the virus or bacteria. Some of the common diseases affecting humans and their mode of transmission and general methods we studied in the above table. So disease causing microorganisms in animals. So these microorganisms cause diseases not only in human beings, they also cause diseases in animals. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans and plants but also in other animals. For example, anthrax. Anthrax is dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. So there is a disease called as anthrax. It is very dangerous. It is a blood disease and it is caused by a bacteria. It first usually affects the cattle, cow, buffalo, sheep or goat. Then it can be transmitted to human beings when they come in contact with those cattle. Usually the farmers or the sheep keepers, they will come in contact with these microorganisms. And foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by virus. Foot and mouth disease of cattle. There is blisters on the mouth of these cattle which feed on the grass. same cow, buffalo, goat and sheep, they will there will be blisters in legs and mouth, which is also very dangerous disease. It can be transferred to human being also, and it is caused by a virus. So in this way, animals in animals also, these microorganisms cause some dangerous diseases. And disease causing microorganisms in plants. In plants also, these microorganisms cause some diseases or disorders. Several microorganisms cause diseases in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple and others. The diseases reduce the yield of crops. These will reduce the production of food. The plants will die or food is damaged due to these microorganisms, and they will reduce the production of food materials. They will reduce the yield of crops. So here one table is given where different type of diseases which are caused in plants. Citrus canker, which is caused in oranges or lemons, and it is caused by bacteria, and it spread through the air from one plant to another plant. And rust of wheat means wheat will be caught by a fungus, and it looks like the wheats are rusting, and it is caused by a fungi, and mode of transmission is from the air or from seeds. So the fungus flies in the air and it attacks other plants, or if seeds are already infected by this disease, so the growing plant is also infected. And then yellow vein mosaic of bindi. So yellow colored line things are caused in the bindi. So that is caused by virus, and mode of transmission is insect. So in this way, in plants also there are diseases which are caused by microorganisms. So farmers use certain chemicals which kill the microbes. You might have seen farmers are spraying the chemicals in their fields to kill the microorganisms which cause the diseases in plants and increase their yield. Next, food poisoning. So food poisoning is also caused by microorganisms. We cannot call it as a disease. It is a condition in our body when food is poisoned, and if we eat such food, we will be in danger. So Bujo was invited by his friend to party, and he ate a variety of food stuff. On reaching home, he started vomiting and had to be taken to a hospital. So sometimes if we eat the food which is spoiled, that cause vomiting and sometimes dysentery also, then you have to visit the hospital. The doctor said that this condition could be due to food poisoning. So vomiting caused after eating may be reason for food poisoning. So what is food poisoning? Food poisoning could be due to the consumption of food spoilt by some microorganisms. So if we keep the food open in the air, lot of microorganisms enter the food and they start eating the food, and they release some poisonous substances, toxic substances in the food. If we eat such food, so it the poison also goes in our stomach along with the food, so that causes vomiting sensation. If not treated in proper time, it may be fatal. Microorganisms that grow on our food sometimes produce toxic substances, means poisonous substances. These make the food poisonous, causing serious illness and even death. So these will cause serious illness in human being. Sometimes fatal, means it can cause the death. So it is very important that we preserve food to prevent it from being spoiled. So we must keep the cooked food so that does not come in contact with air. Some people use the refrigerator, so we should keep it inside the refrigerator, or we should keep the food after boiling it, and it should be covered with a plate or any other covering. So it is very important that we preserve food to prevent it from being spoiled. So how this food is preserved, that we will learn next. Food preservation. So in chapter 1, you have already learnt about method used to preserve and store food grains. So how do we preserve cooked food at home? You know that bread left unused under moist condition is attacked by fungus. Microorganisms spoil our food. Spoiled food emits bad smell and has bad taste and changed color. So bread left unused. Unused means if you don't use the bread for long time, and if there is moisture in the air, so you will see a particular brown or green patches on the bread. It means a fungus is growing on them. So microorganisms spoil our food. Spoiled food emits bad smell. If you see, the smell will be bad smell. It is not original smell, and taste will be also change, and color will change. So we should not eat such food. So we should keep the food in a safe place. Paheli bought some mangoes, but she could not eat them for few days. Later she found that they were spoilt and rotten. But she knows that mango pickle her grandmother makes does not spoil for long time. She is confused. So what is the meaning of this? So we see in our home, if you bring mangoes in summer season and keep them for few days without eating, they will get spoiled. The black patches are made on the mango, and inside there will be insects or fungus. But the pickles made by mango will remain for years. So why this happens? Same mango we are using, one will spoil immediately and another is not spoiled, even kept for the long time. Why this happens? Because we add some preservative material in the pickles. Some chemicals are added. So let us study the common methods of preserving food in our homes. We have to save it from the attack of microorganisms. So some chemicals or salts are used in the pickles, which will prevent the pickle by spoiling for long time. Salts and edible oils are the common chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. Salts and edible oils. You know that a lot of salt is added in mango pickle. That salt will not allow bacteria or virus to grow. It kills the organisms. And oil is also added. First oil is boiled and then added to the mango pickle, along with turmeric. Turmeric is also natural antiseptic which kills the microorganisms. So in this way, the spices, oil and salt which are added in pickles, they are all killing the microbes present in the mango, and that mango will remain for long time. Therefore they are called preservatives. So salt or edible oils which are added to the food material to check the growth of microorganisms. To check means to stop the growth of microorganisms are called as preservatives. We add salt or acid preservative to pickles to prevent the attack from microbes. So we add salt or acid preservatives to pickles. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are common preservatives. So in all food materials which are stored in bottles are added with sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate at certain proportion, and these are used in jams, fruit squashes to check their spoilage. In pickles they are added. So in this way, chemically, by adding some chemicals, you can stop the growth of microorganisms in food material, and it will be kept for long time. And preservation by common salt. Common salt has been used to preserve meat and fish for ages. So if you see how meat and fish is stored, meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. So this fish or meat is covered with dry salt. Salt powder is sprinkled on them, and that kills the bacteria, and these meat and fish can be stored for many days. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes and tamarind, etc. In your home you can also see dried amla we are using. It is coated with the salt powder. That amla will remain for long time if it is coated with dry salt, because dry salt will kill the bacteria. And raw mangoes, you can also dip the mango in salt and keep it for long time. And tamarind is stored in your home along with the salt. These are very common things which are used in our kitchens from ages, means from long time ago, from ancient time we are using common salt as the food preservative. And preservation by sugar, you can also use sugar to preserve the food for long time. For example, gulab jamun is made in your home. Okay, gulab jamun is dipped in the syrup of what? Sugar. So if you keep the gulab jamun for 1 month, 2 month, it is not spoiled, because presence of sugar, it avoids the contact with the microorganisms. By how? Sugar reduces the moisture. Sugar reduces the moisture content, which inhibits the growth of bacteria which spoil the food. So sugar also it reduces the moisture. Moisture means water present in the air. It avoids the contact with the air. Therefore, sugar is used in jams, jellies and fruit juices, squashes to preserve the food. And preservation by oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar are used to preserve the food. We use oil and vinegar which prevents the spoilage of pickles, because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. So we use oil in cooking, so that prevents the food material by spoiling for some time. And vinegar is a mild acid. It is called as acetic acid. It also kills the microorganisms. It is added in pickles. And vegetables, fruits, fish and meat are often preserved by this method. So we fry the vegetables, we fry the fruits, and we make a fry of fish fry, meat fry in oils, and we add sometime, if you see in hotels they add vinegar, and that food will remain for 1 or 2 days. And heat and cold treatments, so we can prevent the food by spoiling using heat and cold methods also. You must have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. This is very common practice in your home. When milk comes from the market in packet, or in if the milkman comes and gives you milk, first what we do, we boil the milk. So what happens when you boil the milk? It kills the microorganisms present in the milk, and milk is not spoiled. The pasteurized milk means milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from harmful microorganisms. So if you bring the milk packet, you see on the packet it is written as pasteurized milk. What is the meaning of that? The milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. They heat the milk at 70 degrees Celsius and immediately they take that milk to the refrigerators. In factories, very big refrigerators are there. They are stored inside there. So by doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Hence, it is called as pasteurization. The pasteurization means the method of Louis Pasteur. What is that method? Boil the milk at 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and immediately transfer it to the chilled place. So don't do this at home. So the boiled milk should not be kept inside the refrigerator. So because the steam produced by boiling milk can damage the refrigerator. Serious problem will occur. So this is done only in big factories, pasteurization. Next, storage and packing. These days, dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. So we are sealing the food materials. For example, we bring fruits, vegetables, and then we bring dates. Lion dates are packed in sealed airtight packets. So that will prevent the contact with the air and that will prevent the moisture and there will be no growth of microorganisms. Next, we will study how microorganisms are helpful in the field of agriculture and nitrogen fixation. So until that, read the textbook and write notes, important notes. Thank you.